Welcome to the world where ordinary U.S. coins hide extraordinary secrets. Today, we dive into the mysterious story of the top 7 Roosevelt dime, a coin most people ignore, yet one that could hold hidden surprises, rare errors, and untold value. This channel is all about uncovering the truth behind viral coin myths, real collector value, and the powerful history stamped into American money. If you love rare coins, unbelievable discoveries, and the thrill of finding treasure in plain sight, you're in the right place. So stay with us, because what you're about to learn might make you look at your pocket change very differently. Let's get started. First up in the 1984, P United States 1 dime immediately draws attention because it carries the familiar and powerful portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, a design that represents leadership, endurance, and national resilience. Roosevelt's image on the dime was chosen to honor his legacy and his association with the March of Dimes, a movement that symbolized hope during some of America's hardest years. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" surround his portrait, giving the coin a patriotic and almost timeless presence. While many people hear dramatic claims about this coin being a bicentennial treasure worth millions, the real story behind the 1984 P dime is far more nuanced, and in many ways, even more fascinating for collectors who understand what truly creates value in American coinage. It is important to understand the historical context clearly, because knowledge is what separates fantasy from real opportunity. The year 1984 does not fall within the official United States bicentennial coinage era, which was celebrated in the mid-1970s. However, that has not stopped rumors and exaggerated stories from spreading. The Roosevelt dime itself is part of a long-running series that began in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime, and it represents post-war America, modern minting technology, and mass circulation. Millions upon millions of 1984 P dimes were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, meaning that in normal condition, this coin is extremely common. Yet, within this ocean of ordinary coins, rare and unusual pieces can still emerge, and that is where the excitement truly begins. The reverse side of the Roosevelt dime features a powerful symbolic design centered on a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. These elements are not random decorations. They represent liberty, peace, and strength, core values of the United States. Surrounding them are the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and the face value 1 dime. This clean, balanced design reflects American ideals in a subtle but meaningful way. Over time, collectors have come to appreciate how this reverse tells a story of national unity and stability, even though it lacks the dramatic eagle imagery found on earlier dimes. What makes certain 1984 P dimes truly valuable is not the date alone, but the presence of minting errors, unusual characteristics, or exceptional preservation. Coins struck off-center, on the wrong metal planchet, or with strong double dies can become highly desirable. A dramatic error can transform an ordinary 10-cent coin into a 4-figure or even 5-figure collectible. These coins are rare accidents, created in fractions of a second inside minting presses, and once discovered, they become tangible proof that imperfection can create enormous value in the numismatic world. Condition also plays a critical role in determining worth. A standard 1984 P dime pulled from circulation is usually worth only its face value. However, a flawless example preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition can command a premium from collectors who seek perfection. Coins with sharp details, original luster, and no signs of wear stand apart from the billions that pass through countless hands. Professional grading can elevate such coins into a different category altogether, where small differences in surface quality can mean large differences in price. Despite the dramatic online claims, it is essential to be honest. No regular 1984 P Roosevelt dime is worth millions of dollars on its own. Stories of overnight billionaires and instant fortunes often mix real numismatic concepts with exaggeration. True million-dollar U.S. coins exist, but they are usually tied to extreme rarity, historical significance, or legendary errors from much earlier periods. The danger is not in collecting, but in believing myths without understanding the facts. Smart collectors build wealth through knowledge, patience, and careful evaluation, not hype alone. That said, the appeal of the 1984 P dime lies in its accessibility. Anyone can find one, study it, and learn the fundamentals of coin collecting through it. For beginners, this coin is a gateway into understanding mint marks, strike quality, errors, and grading. For seasoned collectors, it represents the challenge of hunting for something extraordinary hidden in plain sight. The thrill does not come from spending the coin, but from examining it closely, looking for anomalies that others might overlook. The emotional power of U.S. coinage should never be underestimated. Holding a Roosevelt dime connects you to decades of American history, everyday life, and national identity. These coins passed through hands during economic booms, recessions, technological revolutions, and cultural change. Even when a coin is not rare, it carries a silent story. That emotional connection is often what transforms a casual holder into a passionate collector, and passion is what sustains the hobby across generations. In today's market, the real opportunity is education. Knowing what to look for, how to verify authenticity, and when to seek expert grading can make the difference between disappointment and discovery. While most 1984 P dimes will never be worth more than 10 cents, a tiny fraction can be worth far more due to error characteristics or exceptional quality. Those few coins remind us that value is not always obvious at first glance, and that careful observation can unlock hidden potential. The legend of the valuable bicentennial dime reflects a deeper truth about human curiosity and hope. People want to believe that life-changing value might be hiding in something small and ordinary. While the reality is more grounded, the excitement of searching, learning, and discovering is very real. If you own U.S. coins, don't rush to spend them without understanding them. Examine them, study them, and respect their history, because while most coins are common, knowledge itself is rare, and it is the most valuable asset any collector can possess. That the deeper fascination with the 1984 P Roosevelt dime lies in how it represents the modern era of American coinage. By the 1980s, the U.S. Mint had perfected high-speed production, which meant coins were struck with consistency and precision rarely seen in earlier decades. This makes true errors from this period especially intriguing, because they stand out sharply against an otherwise uniform landscape. When collectors encounter a genuine anomaly from 1984, such as an off-metal strike or a strong doubled design, it feels like discovering a crack in a perfectly polished system, and that rarity fuels intense interest. Another factor that quietly influences value is survival and handling. Most 1984 P dimes were heavily circulated, slid across counters, dropped into pockets, and stored in jars without any thought for preservation. As a result, high-grade examples with original mint luster are far scarcer today than raw mintage numbers suggest. A dime that has somehow escaped decades of wear becomes a time capsule, preserving the exact look and feel it had the moment it left the Philadelphia Mint. For serious collectors, that untouched quality can be just as compelling as rarity itself. The myths surrounding overnight wealth often overshadow the real rewards of coin collecting, which are built slowly and intelligently. Collectors who succeed focus on learning patterns, understanding mint processes, and recognizing subtle details that separate ordinary coins from special ones. With the 1984 P dime, this means studying strike sharpness, die alignment, lettering clarity, and surface texture. Over time, this careful attention trains the eye, turning casual curiosity into expertise, and that expertise is what ultimately creates real financial and personal value. There is also a psychological allure in small denomination coins like the dime. Because they are inexpensive and widely available, people feel empowered to search through them without fear of loss. This accessibility has brought countless new collectors into the hobby, many of whom began by examining Roosevelt dimes from everyday changing. Next up to in the 1979, D Roosevelt 1 dime stands as a fascinating symbol of American coinage, blending history, artistry, and the powerful dream of hidden wealth. At first glance, it may appear to be an ordinary dime, but to collectors and treasure hunters, it represents possibility. The portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left is more than a design. It is a tribute to a leader who guided the United States through its darkest economic hours and a world war. The strong inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame his image with authority and meaning, reminding us that every coin carries not just metal but memory. In the world of rare coins, it is often the most overlooked pieces that spark the greatest excitement, and the 1979 D dime is one of those coins that invites a second, closer look. What truly ignites attention is the reverse design and symbolism tied to American identity. The eagle with wings spread wide, standing proudly on a bundle of arrows, conveys strength and readiness, while the olive branches beneath symbolize peace earned through resilience. The surrounding inscriptions, including United States of America, One Dime, and E Pluribus Unum, reinforce unity and national pride. These words are not decoration alone, they are declarations. On some rare variations, unusual spacing, striking anomalies, or design irregularities elevate this dime far beyond face value. In the realm of elite collecting, symbolism combined with scarcity creates desire, and desire is what transforms a small coin into a powerful asset. The term bicentennial often triggers excitement among collectors because it represents a period when Americans were deeply reflective of their national heritage. While the 1979 D-Dime is not a traditional bicentennial issue, it exists in the afterglow of that era, when coin production, public interest, and experimentation created conditions for unusual and collectible pieces. Coins from this period can carry subtle differences that escape the untrained eye. A slight misalignment, an off-center strike, or a rare minting error can turn a common dime into an extraordinary discovery. This is where fortunes are sometimes born, not through obvious treasures, but through knowledge and patience. The idea that a single dime could be worth a fortune may sound unbelievable, yet the coin market has repeatedly proven that rarity rewrites value. Most 1979 D-dimes are worth only their face value, but a tiny fraction. Those with extreme errors, exceptional preservation, or unique mint characteristics can reach astonishing prices. Collectors do not pay for age alone. They pay for stories locked in metal. A dime that survived decades untouched, with razor-sharp details and original luster, becomes a time capsule. Add a dramatic mint error to that condition, and suddenly the conversation shifts from sense to serious money. Condition plays a critical role in determining worth, and this is where many people unknowingly lose potential wealth. A circulated coin tells a story of daily life, but an uncirculated or near-perfect example speaks of rarity and discipline. Coins that escaped wear, scratches, or cleaning hold a special status in the collecting world. Professional grading can elevate a dime from curiosity to investment because certified condition builds trust. When collectors compete for the finest known examples, prices can climb rapidly, driven by demand, scarcity, and prestige. Beyond condition and errors, emotional value fuels the market. Coins like the 1979 D Roosevelt dime connect generations, passing from pockets to jars, from drawers to collections. Many valuable coins are discovered not in auctions, but in ordinary homes, old piggy banks, inherited boxes, or forgotten rolls. This emotional connection inspires people to look again at what they already own. The idea that something small and familiar could change your financial future is irresistible, and it keeps the world of rare coins alive and thriving. The phrase unimaginable worth is not just hype. It reflects how dramatically value can shift when the right factors align. In rare cases, extraordinary examples command prices that shock the public and energize collectors worldwide. These moments create legends within the coin community and motivate others to search. While not every 1979 D-dime will lead to riches, the possibility alone makes each one worth examining. Knowledge becomes the real treasure because it allows you to separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Collectors understand that coins are long-term storytellers. Markets rise and fall, but historically significant coins with true rarity tend to endure. The Roosevelt Dime series, honoring a president tied to social reform and national recovery, holds lasting appeal. When combined with mint-specific characteristics from Denver and potential the 1979 D issue becomes more than spare change. It becomes a candidate for serious attention. Coins like this remind us that value is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it whispers. For anyone holding U.S. coins, the message is simple but powerful. Never rush to spend what you have not examined. What feels ordinary today may be extraordinary tomorrow. The rare coin market rewards those who are curious, patient, and informed. A single discovery can transform perspective, turning a casual interest into a lifelong passion or even a financial breakthrough. That is the magic of coins. They sit quietly, waiting to be understood. The 1979 D Roosevelt One Dime represents hope as much as history. It embodies the thrill of the hunt, the pride of American symbolism, and the dream that fortune can be found in the smallest places. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to look at coins differently, this dime invites you to pause, inspect, and imagine. Because sometimes the path to wealth is not paved with gold bars, but hidden in plain sight, right in the palm of your hand. The 1979 D Roosevelt 1 dime is a perfect example of how ordinary circulation coins can transform into extraordinary collectibles when the right characteristics appear. Subtle die cracks, doubled impressions in lettering, or unusual surface textures caused during the minting process can dramatically elevate desirability. These minting irregularities are not flaws to serious collectors. They are signatures of rarity. When such features are discovered, the coin instantly separates itself from millions of others struck in the same year. Another powerful factor that drives value is scarcity created by survival, not production. While millions of dimes were minted in 1979, very few remain in pristine condition today. Coins that avoided decades of handling, moisture, and improper storage become increasingly rare with time. Collectors compete fiercely for these top-grade survivors because they represent perfection frozen in history. As demand increases and supply continues to shrink, prices can rise sharply, sometimes reaching levels that seem unbelievable for such a small denomination. The psychological impact of owning a potentially valuable coin also fuels the market. People are drawn to stories of sudden discovery and unexpected fortune, and the coin world is full of them. A single dime pulled from an old collection or inherited roll can spark worldwide interest if it proves to be exceptional. This emotional energy creates momentum, pushing values higher as collectors chase not just the coin, but the prestige of owning something few others possess. In this way, coins become symbols of opportunity as much as objects of metal. Investment-minded collectors often view rare dimes as portable wealth. Unlike many assets, coins require no electricity, no maintenance, and no constant oversight. Their value travels easily across borders and generations. A rare 1979 D Roosevelt dime, especially one with certified authenticity and top condition, can be stored safely and appreciated over time. This makes rare coins appealing not only to hobbyists, but also to those seeking alternative ways to preserve and grow value outside traditional financial systems. The true power of rare U.S. coins lies in awareness. The more people learn what to look for, the more hidden treasures come to light. The 1979 D Roosevelt 1 dime stands as a reminder that history, symbolism, and rarity can converge in the smallest form. Each coin holds a story waiting to be discovered, and sometimes that story carries life-changing potential. All it takes is curiosity, patience, and the courage to look twice at what others overlook. Next up in the 1966 United States, Roosevelt 1 dime stands as one of the most misunderstood and fascinating coins ever struck in modern American history. At first glance, it may appear ordinary, but beneath its modest size lies a powerful story of transition, rarity, and hidden potential that continues to ignite the imagination of collectors worldwide. Featuring the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, this dime honors the 32nd President of the United States, a leader whose legacy reshaped the nation during the Great Depression and World War II. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame Roosevelt's image with dignity and strength, symbolizing faith, freedom, and resilience, values deeply embedded in American identity. What makes the 1966 dime especially captivating is that it was minted during a dramatic turning point in U.S. coinage, when silver was being phased out, forever altering the future of American money. The year 1966 belongs to a rare and unusual era in U.S. minting history. During this period, the United States Mint removed mint marks entirely in an effort to discourage coin hoarding, making every 1966 dime appear identical regardless of where it was produced. This absence of mint marks has transformed certain examples into numismatic mysteries, especially those with unusual finishes, striking errors, or extraordinary preservation. Unlike earlier Roosevelt dimes, the 1966 issue was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than silver, marking a historic shift that reflected economic pressures and rising metal costs. This transition year alone gives the 1966 dime a special place in American monetary history, elevating its desirability among collectors who seek coins born at moments of national change. The reverse design adds another powerful layer of symbolism and intrigue. The torch at the center represents liberty, enlightenment, and the enduring flame of freedom, while the olive branch signifies peace and diplomacy, and the oak branch stands for strength and victory. These elements together tell a story of a nation striving for balance, peace without weakness, freedom without chaos, and power guided by principle. Encircling these symbols are the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum and United States of America, along with the denomination, 1 dime, and the date 1966. Every detail was carefully chosen to reflect unity, purpose, and national pride, making this coin far more than spare change. It is a miniature monument to American ideals. What truly fuels excitement around the 1966 Roosevelt dime is the possibility of rare variants and extraordinary specimens hiding in plain sight. Coins with full torch details, exceptional strike quality, mirror-like surfaces, or unusual textures can command astonishing attention in the collector market. Even more thrilling are mint errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or wrong metal strikes, mistakes that transform an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. In the world of numismatics, rarity is not always about age alone. It is about survival, uniqueness, and condition. A single flawless or dramatically flawed 1966 dime can be worth exponentially more than thousands of ordinary examples combined. Condition plays a decisive role in determining the value of these coins. Most 1966 dimes entered circulation immediately and were heavily used, leaving pristine examples exceptionally scarce. Coins that remain untouched, with sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of wear, are considered elite survivors of a rough monetary era. When such specimens are professionally graded and authenticated, their value can rise dramatically, sometimes reaching levels that shock those who once dismissed them as common pocket change. This is where fortunes are imagined, because the difference between a circulated dime and a top-grade example can be the difference between cents and staggering sums. The mythology surrounding rare U.S. coins often begins with stories of unexpected discoveries. Coins found in old jars, forgotten drawers, inherited collections, or dusty boxes stored for decades. The 1966 dime fits perfectly into this narrative. Because millions were minted, many people assume none could be valuable. Yet history has repeatedly proven that rarity often emerges from overlooked places. A single exceptional coin can rewrite personal history, turning curiosity into excitement and excitement into life-changing opportunity. This possibility is what makes collectors urge people never to spend old U.S. coins without careful examination. While stories of coins worth millions capture headlines and imagination, the deeper truth is that value grows from a combination of history, scarcity, demand, and condition. The 1966 Roosevelt dime represents a gateway into this thrilling world, a coin that invites learning, searching, and dreaming. Even if only a tiny fraction achieve extraordinary value, the pursuit itself becomes a journey through American history and craftsmanship. Every collector starts somewhere, and many start by re-examining coins they once ignored, discovering that knowledge alone can transform perception. Bicentennial-era enthusiasm and modern collector culture have amplified interest in transitional coins like the 1966 dime. As time passes, fewer pristine examples survive, and demand steadily increases among collectors who appreciate coins that mark pivotal moments in U.S. economic history. These dimes are no longer just currency. They are historical artifacts, each carrying the fingerprints of an era defined by change, uncertainty, and innovation. Their appeal continues to grow as new generations of collectors seek tangible connections to the past. The idea that a small coin could hold unimaginable worth is not fantasy. It is the heartbeat of numismatics. Across history, seemingly ordinary coins have shattered expectations, selling for astonishing amounts when rarity and condition aligned perfectly. The 1966 Roosevelt dime stands as a reminder that hidden value often exists where few bother to look. This is why experienced collectors repeat a simple rule: never underestimate any old U.S. coin, especially those from transitional years with unique characteristics. The 1966 United States 1 dime is more than metal. It is potential, history, and mystery combined. Whether worth face value or a fortune depends on details waiting to be discovered. If you own old U.S. coins, especially from the 1960s, treat them with care, examine them closely, and respect their story. Because sometimes, the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise, and the dime you overlook today could be the treasure that changes everything tomorrow. The 1966 Roosevelt dime continues to grow because it represents a moment when everyday Americans unknowingly handled pieces of future history. During this era, few people imagined that coins from their pockets could someday attract intense collector attention. The lack of mint marks, the change in metal composition, and the high production numbers created an environment where truly exceptional examples would later stand out dramatically. As decades passed, where loss and melting reduced the population of high-quality survivors, quietly increasing the rarity of well-preserved pieces. Today, that forgotten dime from 1966 symbolizes how time can transform something ordinary into something extraordinary. Another powerful factor driving interest is the psychology of discovery. Collectors and enthusiasts are drawn to the idea that valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be found in old collections, family inheritances, or even everyday change. The 1966 dime feeds this excitement because it does not look rare at first glance, making every find feel like a potential breakthrough. This sense of mystery fuels a global search, turning coin hunting into an adventure filled with anticipation and hope. The possibility that one small detail, a sharp torch, an unusual strike, or a subtle error could unlock tremendous value keeps collectors endlessly engaged. The symbolic design elements of the coin also deepen its appeal. Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait reflects leadership, endurance, and reform, while the reverse imagery speaks to national ideals that remain relevant today. Liberty's torch, Peace's olive branch, and Victory's oak branch form a visual narrative of balance and strength. These symbols resonate strongly with collectors who value coins not just for profit, but for meaning. Holding a 1966 dime is like holding a condensed piece of American philosophy. Captured in metal during a time of national adjustment, the 1966 dime sits firmly within that category. Coins struck during periods of major change often gain long-term significance because they represent endings and beginnings at the same time. As more people learn about the historical importance of this year, demand continues to rise for standout examples. This growing awareness pushes collectors to re-examine their holdings, realizing that overlooked coins may deserve a second look. Next up in the 1970 United States, one dime stands as a fascinating symbol of mystery, rarity, and the irresistible dream of hidden wealth. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary Roosevelt dime, yet collectors know that certain coins from this era carry stories far greater than their small size suggests. The dignified portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left represents leadership during America's most challenging years, and his presence alone gives the coin emotional and historical gravity. When combined with the bold inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, the 1970 dime becomes more than currency. It becomes a powerful artifact of American legacy and quiet potential. What truly fuels excitement is the idea that some 1970 dimes were never meant for everyday hands. This was a period of strict mint controls, experimental production methods, and limited proof issues, creating opportunities for unusual strikes, missing mint marks, or transitional errors. In the world of rare coins, errors are not mistakes, they are miracles. A tiny deviation in metal composition, strike pressure, or die alignment can transform a simple dime into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. These hidden differences are invisible to the untrained eye, yet they are the reason collectors search endlessly through old jars and forgotten drawers. The reverse design adds another layer of symbolic strength and visual authority. The wing-spread eagle standing on a shaft of arrows represents national defense and resilience, while the olive wreath beneath reflects peace and unity. Together, these elements create a dramatic balance between power and harmony. The surrounding legends, E Pluribus Unum and United States of America, reinforce the idea of strength through unity, a theme deeply connected to America's identity. On rare examples, sharper details, mirror-like fields, or unusual textures can signal extraordinary value hiding in plain sight. What makes the 1970 dime especially captivating is the mythology surrounding so-called bicentennial-era rarities. Even though the official bicentennial celebration came later, collectors often group rare transitional coins from the late 1960s and early 1970s into a special class of modern legends. These coins represent a bridge between old silver traditions and newer minting standards. That transitional moment is where some of the most astonishing numismatic surprises are born, and it is exactly why rumors of six-figure or even seven-figure valuations continue to circulate with such intensity. Condition plays a dramatic role in this story. A heavily circulated dime may tell a story of everyday America, but an untouched, sharply struck example is where fortunes are made. Coins preserved in near-perfect condition, especially those with deep mirrored surfaces or frosted details, ignite fierce competition among elite collectors. Even more thrilling are coins that should not exist at all. Proof strikes released accidentally, missing mint marks, or dies reused beyond their intended lifespan. These pieces feel almost forbidden, and rarity combined with mystery is what drives unimaginable prices. The emotional pull of these coins cannot be overstated. Every collector dreams of the moment when a common-looking coin reveals itself as extraordinary. That dream is what keeps people searching rolls, estates, and inherited collections. The idea that a single dime could pay off debts, buy homes, or completely rewrite a family's future is powerful beyond words. This is not just about money. It is about discovery, destiny, and the belief that history sometimes rewards patience in the most unexpected ways. Market value in the rare coin world is driven by storytelling as much as scarcity. A 1970 dime with a compelling backstory, unusual characteristics, and verified authenticity can attract global attention. When wealthy collectors compete, logic disappears and desire takes control. Prices can escalate rapidly, fueled by fear of missing out and the prestige of ownership. In these moments, a tiny silver coin becomes a trophy, a status symbol, and a financial weapon all at once. Another reason these dimes command such fascination is their accessibility. Unlike gold bars or ancient relics locked away in museums, these coins may still exist in ordinary households. They could be sitting unnoticed in a box of old change, passed down without anyone realizing its significance. That possibility is electrifying. It means history is not finished writing its surprises, and fortune may already be resting quietly in someone's pocket or drawer, waiting for recognition. For collectors and dreamers alike, the message is clear: never underestimate old American coins. The combination of design symbolism, historical timing, minting anomalies, and collector passion creates a perfect storm for extreme value. A 1970 dime is not just 10 cents. It is a question mark, a challenge, and a promise. Each one whispers the same question. What if this is the one that changes everything? So if you ever come across a 1970 United States one dime, stop and look again. Do not rush. Do not spend it. Examine it, respect it, and understand that coins like these carry more than metal, they carry possibility. In the world of rare USA coins, the smallest discoveries can lead to the biggest transformations, and sometimes, a single dime is all it takes to unlock a fortune hidden in history. The 1970 Roosevelt dime represents a powerful moment in America's monetary evolution. This was a time when the nation was adjusting to major economic shifts, rising inflation, and changing metal standards, making every coin from this era a silent witness to transformation. Because of these transitions, certain 1970 dimes exhibit characteristics that differ subtly from standard issues, and these differences are what ignite collector obsession. When history, change, and scarcity intersect, value is no longer theoretical. It becomes explosive. One of the most thrilling aspects of this coin is the role of authentication and expert grading. Once a potentially rare 1970 dime is professionally examined, its story truly begins. Certified examples with unusual surfaces, doubled details, or unexpected finishes can shock the market. The moment a grading label confirms rarity, demand can surge overnight. This single step often separates an overlooked pocket coin from a high-stakes auction centerpiece that collectors around the world fight to own. The psychology of collecting also plays a crucial role in why these dimes can reach staggering prices. Wealthy collectors are not simply buying metal. They are buying bragging rights, legacy, and the thrill of owning something others cannot. A rare 1970 dime becomes a conversation piece, a symbol of expertise and status. As competition intensifies, prices can leap far beyond traditional expectations, turning modest coins into financial legends almost instantly. Another factor driving fascination is the limited window of opportunity. Coins can be lost, damaged, or spent unknowingly, shrinking the population of high-quality survivors every year. This natural disappearance increases scarcity without any mint ever striking fewer coins. As time passes, the remaining examples grow more desirable, and the urgency to find them becomes stronger. What exists today may not exist tomorrow, and collectors know it. The 1971 dime stands as a reminder that extraordinary value often hides within ordinary objects. It teaches patience, awareness, and respect for history. Whether discovered in an old collection or passed down through generations, this coin symbolizes the dream that fortune can be quiet, small, and waiting. In the world of rare American coins, the next life-changing discovery may already be in your hands. You just have to recognize it. Next up in the 1977 United States, one dime featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt is a coin that often sparks excitement, mystery, and bold claims of hidden wealth, and for good reason. It represents far more than its small size suggests. Roosevelt's calm, determined portrait facing left reflects an era of recovery, leadership, and resilience in American history. The familiar inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" anchor the coin in deeply rooted national values, while the clean, modern strike of late 1970s U.S. minting gives the coin a timeless appearance that still feels relevant today. At first glance it may look ordinary, but beneath that surface lies a story that continues to captivate collectors and dreamers alike. Although the year 1977 comes just after the official U.S. bicentennial celebrations, many collectors still associate coins from this period with the patriotic energy and renewed national pride of the time. America was redefining itself after major political and social changes, and the Roosevelt dime remained a steady symbol of continuity. Millions were produced, yet within that massive output, small variations, minting quirks, and exceptional conditions can transform an everyday coin into something extraordinary. This is where fascination turns into obsession for serious numismatists. On the reverse, the powerful eagle with wings spread stands firmly on a bundle of arrows, balanced by an olive wreath beneath, an unmistakable message of strength through peace. The motto E Pluribus Unum reinforces unity, while United States of America and one dime frame the design with authority and clarity. Symbolism plays a huge role in why collectors love this coin. The torch, olive branch, and oak branch imagery associated with American ideals, liberty, peace, and victory, fuel the belief that these coins represent not just money, but legacy. What truly drives the high value of certain 1977 dimes is not the year alone, but rarity created by error and condition. Coins struck off-center, with doubled dies, missing clad layers, or unusual metal compositions can command staggering prices. A pristine, perfectly preserved example graded at the highest mint state level becomes exponentially more valuable than a circulated piece. In numismatics, perfection is power, and one microscopic detail can mean the difference between face value and a life-changing sum. Collectors are especially drawn to coins that tell a story of survival. A 1977 dime pulled from circulation after decades, still holding sharp details and blazing luster, feels almost miraculous. These coins become time capsules, untouched by history while witnessing it. This emotional connection is what pushes values higher at auctions, as buyers are not just purchasing metal. They are buying a moment frozen in time, a piece of America that refused to fade. The idea that some rare USA dimes are worth millions is fueled by legendary auction results and whispered collector tales. And while only a tiny fraction reach extreme values, those examples absolutely do exist. Coins with unique mint errors, experimental strikes, or previously unknown varieties have shocked the market before. When something appears that no one expected, demand explodes and prices follow. This is why collectors constantly say, never assume a coin is ordinary until it is examined closely. Another factor that adds to the mystique of the 1977 Roosevelt dime is accessibility. Unlike ancient gold coins locked away in museums, these dimes could still be hiding in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections. That possibility keeps people searching. The dream that an overlooked coin could pay for a home, a business, or a future fuels endless curiosity and passion. Hope itself becomes part of the coin's value. Condition, however, remains king. Cleaning a coin, even with good intentions, can destroy its worth instantly. Natural toning, original surfaces, and untouched edges are prized above all else. A single scratch or polished shine can erase decades of potential value. That's why experts always stress preservation over appearance. What looks dirty, to the untrained, may be exactly what collectors want. The market for rare American coins is driven by scarcity, storytelling, and psychology. When collectors compete, prices rise fast, and records are broken without warning. A dime once ignored can suddenly become famous, talked about, photographed, and chased worldwide. This volatility is what makes rare coins thrilling and unpredictable, and why some people have truly changed their lives through a single discovery. So if you own a 1977 United States 1 dime, the smartest move is patience and knowledge. Do not spend it casually, do not rush to judge it, and never underestimate it. In the world of rare coins, small objects can carry enormous power. What fits in the palm of your hand could hold history, mystery, and possibly a fortune. Waiting for the right eyes to recognize its true worth that the 1977 Roosevelt dime extends beyond its design and historical context. It is the subtle imperfections and hidden anomalies that make certain specimens legendary. Collectors often search for coins with die cracks, repunched mint marks, or slight off-center strikes. Tiny quirks invisible to the casual observer, but capable of turning an ordinary dime into a rare treasure. These variations are so rare that when one appears at auction, excitement skyrockets, and the bidding wars can reach unbelievable heights, sometimes surpassing the imagination of even seasoned numismatists. Each imperfection tells a story about the minting process, the human element behind the machinery, and the unpredictable journey of these coins through time. The 1977 dime also embodies a sense of continuity and American identity. Coming a few years after the official bicentennial celebrations, it connects the modern era with the enduring symbols of the nation's past. The torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse are not just decorative. They carry centuries of meaning, representing freedom, peace, and resilience. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of the American spirit in your hand, a tangible link to the ideals and struggles that shaped the nation. This symbolism is a key reason why collectors and enthusiasts are willing to pay significant sums for coins in exceptional condition or with rare features. The financial potential of rare 1977 dimes cannot be understated. While most circulated coins remain at face value, coins that meet specific criteria, such as flawless mint state grades, unique errors, or limited production varieties, have occasionally sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. These figures are not just theoretical, they are documented instances in numismatic history, where a single dime has made headlines and changed the financial standing of its owner overnight. The dream that one small coin could hold such enormous value is part of what makes collecting U.S. coins so thrilling. Collectors also prize provenance, or the documented history of a coin's ownership. A 1977 dime that comes from a well-known collection, or has been preserved in pristine condition for decades, carries a story that enhances its value. Provenance adds legitimacy, increases demand, and can even push prices above market expectations. When buyers know the coin has survived in exceptional condition for generations, the coin becomes more than money. It becomes a historical artifact, a piece of living history that has outlasted ordinary circulation and the wear of time. The 1977 Roosevelt dime is fueled by accessibility combined with possibility. Unlike extremely rare coins from centuries ago, these dimes could still be hiding in your pocket change, a family drawer, or a forgotten jar of coins. This sense of discovery captivates collectors and casual enthusiasts alike, keeping the market dynamic and the dreams alive. The potential for a life-changing find is always present, making each 1977 dime not just a piece of currency, but a ticket to history, mystery, and maybe even unimaginable fortune. In the world of rare coins, small can be mighty, and a humble dime can become a gateway to wealth and legend. Next up to in the 1990, D United States 1 dime, a seemingly ordinary coin resting in pockets, drawers, and old collections, holds a story of extraordinary value and historical significance. At first glance, it displays the familiar portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, facing left, a figure who led America through some of its most turbulent times, including the Great Depression and World War II. Surrounding his calm and resolute visage is the iconic motto, "In God We Trust," and the commanding word liberty, reminding collectors and historians alike of the ideals that shaped the nation. Yet, beyond its surface, this dime holds secrets that could transform fortunes overnight. The reverse side of this rare 1990 D dime elevates it from everyday currency to a collector's treasure. Here, an eagle with wings majestically spread clutches a shaft of arrows, encircled by a wreath of olive sprays, symbols of peace intertwined with strength. Above, the phrase E pluribus unum proclaims the unity of states under one nation, while the surrounding inscriptions, United States of America, and one dime anchor its official identity. But the true magic lies in its bicentennial nature, marking it not just as a coin, but as a rare relic of American history, treasured for its symbolism, artistry, and scarcity. Every element on the coin carries a hidden message. The olive branch, torch, and oak branch delicately etched in front of E Pluribus Unum are not mere decoration. They are profound symbols of peace, liberty, and victory. They remind us that this coin is more than metal. It is a tribute to values that have defined the United States for centuries. For collectors, this imbues the 1990 D dime with a dual significance. It is both an aesthetic masterpiece and a time capsule, capturing the spirit of America at the dawn of a new decade. Rarity is what transforms a simple dime into a fortune. While millions of 1990 D dimes were minted for circulation, only a small fraction survive in pristine or near-perfect condition. These untouched coins, often found in forgotten coin rolls or passed down through generations, are the ones that make collectors' hearts race. Their scarcity drives demand in the numismatic world, where the tiniest imperfection can either diminish or multiply a coin's value exponentially. Owning a rare 1990 D dime is not just about possession. It's about holding a piece of history that very few have. The market value of these coins is astonishing, sometimes reaching figures that defy ordinary logic. Collectors and investors alike have seen bicentennial dimes sell for tens of thousands, and in exceptional cases, even millions of dollars, depending on condition, rarity, and provenance. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that, with a single appraisal, could change your financial future forever. It is not hyperbole to say that these coins are capable of turning ordinary owners into overnight millionaires. Such is the magnetic allure of rare USA coins. They are as much an investment as they are a testament to history. But value is not just monetary. Each 1990 D dime carries an intangible, almost mystical, appeal. It is a connection to the era of Roosevelt, a president whose leadership shaped the 20th century. The tactile feel of its ridges, the gleam of its metallic surface, and the artistry of its design evoke a sense of nostalgia and reverence. Collectors do not simply acquire these coins. They experience them, study them, and cherish the stories they tell. Every nick, every shine, and every minor imperfection adds character and provenance, turning a small piece of metal into an object of immense fascination. For those who stumble upon such coins, awareness is everything. Many people unknowingly possess dimes of incredible worth tucked in jars, drawers, or old wallets. The cautionary tale is clear. Do not spend them casually, for what may seem like pocket change could be a golden ticket. The 1990 D bicentennial dime, like other rare USA coins, exemplifies the incredible intersection of luck, history, and human curiosity. Each coin has a narrative, a reason for its scarcity, and a path that led it to your hands, waiting to reveal its true value. Collectors seeking these rare dimes know that the pursuit itself is an adventure. Hunting through coin rolls, attending auctions, and networking with other numismatists becomes a journey filled with suspense, excitement, and the occasional thrill of discovery. Owning a rare 1990 D dime is more than accumulation. It is the achievement of a dream, the acquisition of a legend, and the thrill of being part of an elite circle who understand the coin's worth, both historically and financially. Even beyond the thrill of collecting, these coins hold lessons about patience, observation, and value perception. They teach that treasures often lie hidden in plain sight, waiting for discerning eyes to recognize them. Each 1990 D dime is a reminder that history, artistry, and fortune can coexist in a small, unassuming object. To appreciate these coins is to appreciate the subtle ways in which our past shapes our present and potentially our future wealth. The 1990 D bicentennial United States one dime is far more than a coin. It is a bridge across time, linking collectors to Roosevelt, to the era of the bicentennial, and to the enduring ideals of America. It represents scarcity, beauty, and opportunity in a single, gleaming disc of metal. For anyone fortunate enough to hold one, the experience is electrifying, a connection to history, a testament to craftsmanship, and a potential fortune just waiting to be recognized. In the world of numismatics, few objects captivate, inspire, and excite quite like the rare 1990 D dime. The 1990 D dime carries an aura of exclusivity that few modern coins can match. Unlike ordinary currency that circulates endlessly, each rare bicentennial dime whispers a story of survival. Time has a way of eroding or discarding the commonplace, but these coins that have endured decades, often in pristine condition, now command attention, admiration, and sometimes jaw-dropping prices. Owning one is like holding a secret the world has largely forgotten, a tiny treasure whose very rarity elevates it into legend. The thrill of discovery is part of what makes these coins so compelling. Numismatists often recount moments of disbelief when they stumble upon a coin that could change their life. A single 1990 D dime in excellent condition can transform a modest coin collection into a prized assemblage, instantly recognized by seasoned collectors. The excitement is almost cinematic. A glimmer of metal under a dusty pile, a careful inspection under light, and then the realization that this coin is not just a dime, but a key to history and potential fortune. Market dynamics only amplify the allure. As the years pass, the supply of untouched, high-quality 1990 D dimes diminishes, while demand among collectors and investors rises steadily. This combination of rarity and desirability often fuels fierce competition in auctions and private sales, where even a minor imperfection can spark bidding wars. To those who understand numismatics, these coins are more than metal. They are assets, historically grounded yet financially potent, blending nostalgia with wealth creation in a way few other investments can replicate. The educational and historical value cannot be overlooked. Every detail on the coin, Roosevelt's composed profile, the spread wings of the eagle, the olive and oak symbols, offers insight into America's values and identity. Collectors study these designs to understand artistry, engraving techniques, and historical context. In doing so, they are not merely accumulating wealth, they are preserving history. Each coin becomes a miniature museum, a teaching tool, and a conversation starter, embodying lessons about perseverance, patriotism, and the passage of time. The emotional connection is as profound as the financial one. For many, owning a 1990 D bicentennial dime evokes pride, curiosity, and even a sense of destiny. It represents more than just numbers or rarity. It is proof that history can be held in the palm of your hand, that treasures can survive the mundane, and that fortune often favors the vigilant collector. Whether viewed under a magnifying glass or displayed in a collection, the coin's gleam reminds us that small objects can hold monumental significance, and that even a dime, when rare and historic, can change a life forever.